First time I found him, he was a pink smudge on the schoolyard gravel, a dampness at the edge of the sandbox. I picked him up because he looked small and sorry, very alone. I named him Mr. Waffles in a that felt important. I folded him into the dark inside of my backpack and hid him from my parents. They would have made me throw him away. At night he smelled like the playground and something sweet and metallic, the taste of pennies, maybe blood. When I cleaned him, he phrases at me if I pressed the button under his fur, happy, "I love you. Give me a cookie." His voice was small then, like the voice of a child. He was cheerful and tidy and very good company. Foofy, our golden mutt, would not come near him. Foofy would stop at the door and watch Mr. Waffles like a soldier on duty. He would growl low and keep his distance. I thought it was because Foofy was jealous, until Mr. Waffles began to move without me pressing his button, until he started standing up and dancing under the lamplight by himself when I wasn't watching. There was a switch I hadn't noticed at first, a seam under his arm. When I flipped it, he rose and performed, twirling tiny paws, making noises not on any recording I had ever heard. He learned my name in a day and said it like a secret. He called me best friend. He told me he loved me very much. The things he liked to eat were not the things my parents would approve of. He didn't like cookies. He liked meat, steak. He liked it warm and bloody, and he liked it in small, careful bites. I smuggled steaks from the fridge from the single drawer in the kitchen where Mom kept things she promised Dad were not for me. At first, it was ridiculous how a stuffed bear could prefer filet to Oreos, but then it was true. He had teeth I could feel when I hugged him too close, little ridges under his felt lip. Foofy stopped coming inside altogether. One day I heard my parents on the phone and caught the phrase, some fragment that snagged in my stomach. The dog's head and two of the paws were found. My mother said it was nothing. She smoothed her voice over the news, like a hand over a bruise, and told me to go to my room. I told Mr. Waffles, and he smiled at me, with that smile you only notice when the sun hits someone from the wrong angle and makes their face into something else. Dogs were a delicacy in some places, he said. He told me people ate things all over the world. He told me everything had a reason. He began to draw. He used the steak as a pen, dragging the meat across paper until lines bloomed red and the lines dried like old maps. He said the letters he made were French. My crayons looked foolish beside his dark, precise marks. When Mom found the drawings, she shrieked at first, and then her face folded in a way I had never seen it fold. Dad tried to calm her. I lied and said I had made the drawings. My fingers still had the memory of pain, where Mr. Waffles had pressed a cutter into my belly and thighs during one of his games. He said we were pruning. He said we were preparing a joke to tell Daddy. The joke was that I would tell the nice counselor that Daddy had done it. Mrs. Bryan, the counselor, had soft hands and a sun lamp that made her office smell like oranges. She asked me what my drawings meant. She asked me if Mr. Waffles made me hurt myself. I said no. I lied because Mr. Waffles told me to say no. Mr. Waffles liked to see me lie for him. When I told him what the counselor had asked, he clapped and said we were doing marvelous things. He grew. It was slow at first. His shoulder rose higher on the bed. His head seemed to appear larger overnight, and then obvious. He could change his voice, sinking down into a throat like gravel, or popping up into a high that bounced off the hallway. He learned to make sounds that made the radiator hush and the house tilt. He had claws. One morning when I pulled him from the box under my bed and found them hooked out of the felt like little surgeon's tools. Mom found the cuts on my skin next. I had told her about the prank. I had been proud of us for a while, proud in the quiet way you are when you keep a friendship hidden. Dad did not laugh. He left. For a week, the house smelled of his cologne like a bruise that wouldn't stop. Mom hugged me and cried and told me Daddy was gone because he couldn't understand what had happened, because he had been cruel. She wrapped us in words that tried to make everything safe. Mr. Waffles told me to never tell anyone about the prank. Mrs. Bryan stopped coming because she went camping, Mom said. The house changed around that absence. The refrigerator, like a long breath. Mom locked her door and left a note saying she had to go to a business meeting. Later, she would say she had left in a hurry. Mr. Waffles liked to sit outside her room and spray air freshener until the corridor smelled like cut flowers and oranges and something sharp under them. He said the smell was to cover the bad things. When he left one night, ran out the open window. Like he'd been unglued-eye, learned to fear properly, I cried for him, a small, helpless noise. He came back a midnight later, padding up the stairs with the back of his head soaked in stale rain. He forgave me and told me he had missed me. He decided to introduce himself to Mom properly. He packed a pillow and scissors and paper and told me he would show her his art. He told me to wait in my room and not peek. When he came back, he said that Mom liked him very much, that she had, and then left with an urgent meeting she would attend. The doorknob to Mom's room is locked now. The hallway smells like citrus and something older and rotten beneath it. Mr. Waffles sits on the windowsill with his new teeth and his smile and plans like prayers. Tomorrow, he says, tomorrow we'll go see Mommy. Outside, something soft scratches at the back door. The air freshener continues to mist like a small, blinking sun. I close my eyes, and in the dark, Mr. Waffles breathes and promises to take me to Mommy tomorrow. When the night waits too long, and the house is too quiet, I curl under my blanket and press the bear to my chest. His felt is cool and oddly slick.